After Rith successfully defeated the first of the dark creatures, the forest around him grew quiet, yet saturated with an ominous sense of danger. The darkness was still dense, and the air hung heavy, as if something unseen was watching him. He sat on a tree stump, trying to catch his breath, his mind brimming with questions. "The sword," he murmured to himself, attempting to unravel the mysterious words of the enigmatic man. What did he mean by the sword? And how could this sword be the key to the truth? As he pondered, he heard a faint sound in the distance, a melody seemingly emanating from the depths of the forest. It sounded like it was calling to him. He stood hesitantly, feeling a strange force compelling him toward the sound. Rith followed the sound until he reached an open area in the forest, where he saw a woman standing in the center of a circle of ancient stones. She wore a green cloak adorned with strange symbols, and her long hair swayed gently with the breeze. When she turned toward him, her golden eyes glimmered. "Greetings, Rith. I've been expecting you. Who are you? And how do you know my name?" Rith asked cautiously, maintaining a safe distance from her. "My name is Ivrin. I am the guardian of this forest. I knew you would come here. Your journey has only just begun, and you will need my help to continue it." Rith tried to resist the growing trust he felt toward her, but he realized she might have answers to his questions. He sat on the ground and asked, "What is happening? Why am I accused of treason? And what does the sword have to do with all this?" Ivrin smiled gently and replied, "The kingdom of light is not as it seems. Hidden forces have been working in the shadows for centuries. The sword you seek is an ancient artifact that holds immense power. But it is not just a physical weapon. It symbolizes pure will and is the key to uncovering the truth behind the darkness spreading through the kingdom." She extended her hand and pulled out a small metallic object shaped like a compass from her cloak. Its needle didn't point north but instead moved erratically, as if searching for something. "This compass will guide you to the sword. But it will only work if you're ready to embrace the truth, no matter how difficult it may be. You must have the courage to face whatever you may discover." Rith hesitated before taking the compass. As he held it, he felt a strange warmth emanating from it, as though it connected directly to his soul. "Where will this compass lead me?" "To the Temple of Shadows. But beware, the temple is fraught with dangers, and reaching it will not be easy." Rith began his journey toward the Temple of Shadows, guided by the compass as it led him through the dark forest. The path was treacherous, filled with obstacles and creatures intent on stopping him. One night, as he approached the base of a towering mountain, he noticed the compass growing warmer. Looking around, he saw a strange glow emanating from the rocks. Approaching cautiously, he discovered an ancient inscription on the wall, bearing symbols similar to those on Ivrin's cloak. When he touched the inscription, the ground trembled slightly, and a hidden passage opened, revealing a dark tunnel. He entered the tunnel cautiously, the compass glowing brighter with each step he took. Inside the tunnel, Rith faced a series of trials. In one chamber, he found himself surrounded by mirrors reflecting different versions of himself. Some depicted him as a brave hero, while others showed him as a traitor. Fear gripped him as he confronted these images, but he realized he had to accept all aspects of himself to move forward. When he passed the test, a new door opened, leading him to a vast hall filled with glowing symbols. At the center of the hall stood an altar, holding something covered with a black cloth. Rith approached the altar, his hand trembling as he reached to lift the cloth. But before he could touch it, a familiar voice echoed behind him. "At last, we've found you, traitor." He turned to see a group of royal soldiers led by one of the captains of the guard. They were armed, their weapons aimed at him, and their eyes burned with fury. Rith stood frozen before the soldiers who had surrounded him inside the mysterious chamber. Leading them was Kyle, the captain of the royal guard, a strong, broad-shouldered man known for his unwavering loyalty to the kingdom. "I thought you'd hide forever, Rith, but it seems you'd rather die in the shadows." Kyle sneered. "I'm no traitor, Kyle. I'm searching for the truth, The truth the kingdom is hiding from all of us. Rith replied firmly, trying to suppress his fear. Kyle laughed derisively, signaling the soldiers to move closer. The truth. The only truth is that treason is punished by death. Prepare to fight. As the soldiers charged toward Rith, the compass in his hand began to glow intensely, filling the chamber with a brilliant blue light. Suddenly, threads of luminous energy emerged from the walls, wrapping around the soldiers and freezing them in place. "What's happening here?" Kyle shouted, struggling to free himself. "I don't know, but it's not my doing," Rith answered, astonished by the mysterious force protecting him. At that moment, Ivrin's voice echoed from the shadows. "I warned you, Rith, that the path would not be easy. These men are not your true enemies. You have a choice now, to kill them and end this conflict here, or to spare them and continue your mission." Rith looked at the soldiers struggling to break free. He could feel their fear and confusion. Taking a deep breath, he said firmly, "I won't become like them. I won't kill innocent men who've been deceived." With his decision made, the luminous energy dissipated, leaving the soldiers to collapse onto the ground, powerless. Kyle turned to Rith, his eyes filled with disbelief. "Why didn't you do it? You could have easily killed us." "'Cause you're not my enemies. The real enemies are the ones using you as pawns for their own purposes." Before Kyle could respond, the mountain began to tremble violently. The tunnel was collapsing, and they all had to escape immediately. Rith led the soldiers through the dark tunnel, using the compass to guide them to the exit. Despite their earlier hostility, they now relied on him for survival. When they finally emerged into the open air, they saw the mountain crumble entirely behind them. Everyone sat down to catch their breath, while Kyle looked at Rith with newfound respect. "Maybe you were right, Rith. Something is happening in the kingdom, and I think we need to learn more. If you want to help me, you'll have to trust me. There's a dark force at work in the shadows, and I need to find the sword to understand everything." As they spoke, the compass began pointing west, toward distant plains shrouded in mist. Rith stood and looked at the soldiers. "Who will join me in uncovering the truth? The road ahead is long and dangerous, but we will no longer be slaves to the darkness." Kyle and a few soldiers stepped forward to stand by his side, while others departed, returning to the kingdom to report what had happened. Temporary end. The group set off toward the plains, where a new adventure filled with dangers and secrets awaited them. Rith felt closer than ever to uncovering the truth, but he knew the path ahead remained fraught with challenges. To be continued in Part 2. The Mystery of the Misty Plains.